Okey, baik. Selamat bertemu. Mungkin saya tak pastilah sama ada mungkin ada yang pernah jumpa dengan saya masa saya ke UUM. Saya rasa tahun lepas ataupun 2 tahun lepas lah, saya tak pastikan. Jadi bagi yang pertama kali jumpa, salam pengenalan saya ucapkan. Jadi saya Fariza. Saya dari Fakulti Pendidikan UKM lah, dan bidang saya adalah Instructional Technology. Dan musim-musim PKP macam ni memang kami di fakulti pun banyak buat latihan dan juga training lah dengan pensyarah-pensyarah dan juga yang melibatkan pensyarah pada fakulti lain, even yang melibatkan juga institusi di luar lah. Okey, baik. Jadi pertama-tamanya saya nak ucapkan terima kasih banyak-banyak lah kepada pihak UKLC kerana sudi untuk menjemput saya untuk share lah sebagai pengisian mungkin bagi kita yang duduk saya saja kat rumah kan. Dan saya pun sepatutnya cuti panjang ni boleh buat kata paper kan, artikel, tapi sebenarnya memang tak ada mood nak buat paper tu ya, sebab dalam keadaan macam ni lah. So cuma kita sama-sama berdoa lah supaya keadaan menjadi semakin baik ya, semakin pulih dan kita semua dikurniakan kesejahteraan dan kesihatan lah. Okay, baik. So izinkan saya untuk share skrin saya untuk paparan semua. Baik, so saya akan tajuk yang diberi pada saya ialah tentang macam mana kita nak create micro learning lah dan dikhususkan kepada tool iaitu Biteable. Ya. Sebelum kita mungkin semua orang ni nanti kena hands on tau. Ya, jadi setiap orang ada depan komputer. Kejap lagi kita akan sama-sama buat Biteable lah. Tapi sebelum tu izinkan saya untuk go through sedikit apa dia tentang micro learning dan sebagainya lah ya. Okay. So mungkin bagi yang mungkin micro learning ni bukan satu istilah yang baru lah kan. Mungkin setengah-setengah orang tu pernah dengar lah tentang apa itu micro learning dan saya rasa masa saya ke UUM dulu pun saya juga cakap tentang micro learning. Jadi secara mudahnya bila kita cakap tentang micro, maksudnya micro tu very tiny and very small portion kan. So maksudnya bila kita sebut tentang micro learning, dia bermaksud bagaimana kita nak deliver short content for learners to study at convenience. Itu antara dia punya kata layman punya definition of micro learning lah ya. Dan micro learning juga dia ada banyak nama micro learning ni mungkin orang panggil bite size, dipanggil learning nuggets ya, macam-macam lah. Dan ada juga yang mengatakan bahawa micro learning ni dia sifat dia macam an espresso shot for the mind. Espresso ni dia punya cawan tu kecil je kan. So kita macam minum macam tu je lah. So maknanya dia adalah sesuatu yang diambil dalam amount yang sedikit sahaja. Ya, tetapi dia mungkin mempunyai makna yang tertentu lah. Dan untuk micro learning juga dia membolehkan pengguna untuk mendapatkan maklumat itu dengan tempoh yang sangat singkat. As compared tu kalau katalah kita mengajar 14 minggu, kita ada pertemuan dengan pelajar katalah untuk sarjana kita ada 3 jam kan. So dalam 3 jam itu, kalau kita buat secara tradisional, kita akan melaksanakan pengajaran secara makro. Maksudnya kita tidak ada pecahan-pecahan yang kecil. Tetapi kalau kita merancang pengajaran kita, kalau cakap sama ada dalam face to face ataupun di dalam online learning, kita sebenarnya boleh pecahkan segmen-segmen pengajaran kita itu kepada mungkin pecahan-pecahan yang lebih kecil lah. Dan salah satu daripada pecahan yang ada di dalam keseluruhan pengajaran dalam 3 jam itu mungkin ada 1 atau 2 aspek micro learning, iaitu pendekatan yang mana kita menggunakan masa yang sangat singkat untuk dicapai. So sebelum kita pergi kepada lebih lanjut, mungkin saya bagi satu teaser lah tentang micro learning. So saya harap boleh menonton
According to recent studies, our attention spans are becoming shorter and, oh hey, what's that over there? The good news, in the digital age, we have become better at multitasking. In education, micro-learning strategies aim to address this new paradigm. Content is distilled into its most essential points, delivered in short bursts or chunks, which allow learners to build knowledge in small steps, whenever or wherever it's most convenient. By now, you are probably wondering what micro-learning looks like. Well, you just watched one.
So itulah sebenarnya contoh micro learning. Ya, dia sangat singkat tetapi ada 1, 2, 3 poin yang diberikan. Ya. Jadi kita tak perlu macam terlalu memberikan beban kepada kognitif pelajar lah. So kita maksudnya untuk sesuatu maklumat kita boleh pecahkan kepada a very small chunk of information. Ya. Dan ini satu lagi contoh tentang macam mana kita boleh menggunakan micro learning. Salah satu daripada cara macam mana kita nak mengajar tentang macam mana kita nak convert dan berapa minit saja ya, dalam 1 minit lebih saja, tetapi pelajar dapat ataupun penonton pada video YouTube kita tadi dapat satu maklumat, oh this is how we convert PDF kepada Word. So dalam micro learning maknanya dia mengkhususkan kepada mungkin satu objektif yang kecil untuk dicapai dalam jangka masa yang pendek dan dengan satu penerangan yang kata tidak melirik-lirik lah. Dia terus straight to the point. Okay, dan mungkin ini satu lagi contoh. Baik, ini adalah teaser yang saya bangunkan, saya ingat tahun lepas lah, untuk memperkenalkan khusus Innovation and Technology in Teaching and Learning yang kami letakkan dekat MOOC. Okay, jadi macam kalau kita tengok contoh-contoh untuk video micro learning tadi kan, sebenarnya kalau kita perhatikan ini berdasarkan daripada literature jugalah dan juga sedikit pembacaan yang saya buat. Bila kita menggunakan micro learning ni, dia memang bukanlah satu pendekatan ataupun alternatif, bukan alternatif tetapi bukanlah satu pendekatan yang boleh kita gunakan secara sepenuhnya untuk mengajar. Katalah kita mengajar satu kursus dan kita gunakan pendekatan micro learning itu from the very beginning to the very end of the semester. Tidak micro learning ni dia macam spice, macam satu selingan yang boleh kita gunakan untuk tujuan-tujuan inilah, sama ada mungkin kita boleh gunakan micro learning untuk kita grab students punya attention. Kita boleh gunakan bahan video yang pendek ini untuk spur students punya discussion. Ya, kita berikan mereka satu video yang pendek dan mungkin kita minta mereka kembangkan idea itu dalam bentuk perbincangan dan akhirnya mereka come up dengan another presentation dan sebagainya. Ya. Dan micro learning juga sebenarnya pada asasnya banyak digunakan dalam professional development bagi syarikat-syarikat lah, maksudnya enterprise dan sebagainya. Sebab dia bersifat macam just in time. Ataupun mungkin kalau saya boleh bagi contohnya macam video PDF tadi kan, nak menukar PDF ke Words. Sometimes kita rasa, macam mana cara nak tukar PDF ni? Sekarang ni kita ada satu form dan kita nak isi form tu. Cuma sekarang ni form yang kita ada tu dalam bentuk PDF, jadi kita tak boleh nak isi kan. So apa kita buat? Kita akan pergi ke YouTube, betul tak? Kita akan type how to convert PDF to Word. So kita akan nampaklah beratus-ratus tutorial dekat YouTube yang boleh kita guna pakai dan kita jadikan sebagai panduan untuk mencapai objektif kita ataupun keperluan kita pada masa itu. Itu yang dimaksudkan sebagai just in time. Ya. Dan dia juga boleh digunakan untuk tutorial lah. Misalnya macam katalah kita nak mengajar tentang macam mana kita nak gunakan thread changes di dalam Words atau nak gunakan thread changes di dalam Google Docs dan sebagainya lah. Tapi saya boleh bagi contoh bagi bidang saya lah, mungkin bagi bidang perempuan semua, prof, doktor dan sebagainya, mungkin boleh go back to your own nature of area and then lihat di mana kesesuaian micro learning ini boleh kita guna pakai di dalam pengajaran dan pembelajaran mengikut subjek yang kita ajar. Ya. Dan dalam micro learning juga boleh menjadi salah satu daripada cara untuk membantu pelajar untuk solve masalah mereka lah. Okay, dan mungkin saya sentuh sedikit lah macam mana kalau kita dah, saya dah memperkenalkan tentang apa itu micro learning ya. Dan ya saya.
Ada request untuk deliver in English.
Oh, deliver in English.
We have participant from non-speaker.
Okay. Alright. Okay, thank you. Because I have not been told before, so that's why I proceed with Malay language. So I have to shift from Malay to English lah. But first of all, I need to say sorry lah for my bad English because I'm coming from UKM, where all the lectures are conducted in Malay. So I'm so used to giving lectures in Malay. So please forgive me for my improficiency in English language. Okay. Right, so saya perlu nak, do I have to go back and then explain a bit more again about the previous section? Dr. Izwan, do I have to go back?
I no need. I think it should be okay because the initial discussion was the introduction part of my learning.
Yeah.
That should be okay for the participants.
Right, okay, so and then after all, the presentation is in English as well, right? Okay. So as I said earlier, microlearning can be used for different purposes. Yeah? For example, you can grab your students' attention by using, giving them a small chunk or a very short duration of video, for example. Or might be we can also see different kinds of microlearning afterwards. Yeah? Not necessarily in a video form only, but we have other form for using microlearning, right? So we can also use microlearning to help students to spur discussion or to start their discussion. We can also use microlearning to help students to, solve their problems. And we as learners, because we are lifelong learners ourselves, we can also find tutorials, lots of tutorials in YouTube just to solve our problem. Just like the previous examples that I've given. For example, if let's say you have a problem to convert your PDF file to words, but you do not know how to do it, then you just go to YouTube and then you just type in how to convert PDF into Word. Then you will find hundreds and thousands of tutorial videos that you can follow and then take a step from that. Okay, so now having said that, microlearning is about giving information in smaller chunks to students, but there are also principles for microlearning. Yeah. So the first one is we need to bear in mind that when we are planning to conduct microlearning content, we have to be clear that one content should only have one main idea. Yeah? Only one idea per module or per content. So we cannot go more than that. Yeah? And of course, the rule of thumb for microlearning, if we are talking about video duration, it should be between 2 to 5 minutes. Yeah? Why 2 to 5 minutes? Because there are lots of research has been done, especially when they talk about learning attention span among our students. We have students who are from Z or Z generation. We also have Y generation. And these generations, they have only about 90 seconds of concentration span. So we have to make sure that anything or any content that we want to create must not exceed 5 minutes in order to retain their attention. Okay? Must be short and precise. And the third one, if we want to develop any micro-learning content, we have to plan as well in terms of the selection of what kind of visuals we want to use, what kind of media we want to use. All three examples that I have presented earlier was in video form, but we can also use just one poster or one graphic for micro learning. We can see the example afterwards. And the fourth one, it should be customizable. That means we can customize it to who we want to present our content. For example, if you have students, for example, we have 100 students, and they are grouped into different or smaller group into tutorials, right? So in a tutorial group as well, we can differentiate between our students. Yeah, for example, for students who are a bit slow, then we can help them to achieve certain objectives by giving them, smaller chunks of information so as not to burden their cognitive load by using micro-learning approach. Yeah. And the fourth one, most of the literature that I have referred to, they supported that for micro-learning to work, for micro-learning to be accepted, it must be accessible anywhere or anytime. That means it should be ubiquitous. So when we talk about anytime and anywhere, that means we have to go online. Students or learners or users of our micro-learning content should be able to get an access to our content by using just their mobile phone, or perhaps using their tablets, or perhaps using their laptop or desktop. Yeah, so that means micro-learning should be supported with the use of internet connection. Right? All right. Any questions so far? Any question, or should I proceed? So if that's the case, then I just proceed. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, yeah, for micro-learning, it is not just in terms of in the form of video. There are other forms of micro-learning that we can create, or not necessarily we as lecturers to create micro-learning content. We can also give these tasks to our students. Yeah, make them come up with micro-learning content by using or by providing all the or one or two of these kinds of micro-learning. We can have micro-learning in terms of text, yeah, maybe a paragraph, and then we use that for to start a discussion. We can also have just an audio. For example, you can use podcasts, or you can just use a song, for example. Yeah, one paragraph or two chorus of the song, and then let students do something out of the content. Yeah, and we can also use animation to create micro learning. Graphics, yeah. And then, of course, in terms of in the use of video, we can also create micro-learning. That means to achieve a certain kind of objective or learning objective by giving students quizzes, or perhaps we can also use games to help students to achieve a specific objective. So I do hope that all of you can grab the overall meaning of micro-learning. It's not just in terms of the video, but we can also create micro-learnings by using all these forms as well. Yeah. Next, so what are the benefits of micro-learning? So of course, it is faster to deliver because it just the duration is very short and more affordable. It is more flexible. and sometimes we can use a similar content to achieve different objectives to different kind of students. Yeah, it's quite flexible. But we do have to bear in mind that in order for us to use microlearning, we have to well prepared, and then we have to understand what are the content that we are giving to our students, and then we have to set the objectives that students need to achieve at the end of the learning experience. And then based on the literature, it was also stated that using microlearning, we can engage students more because as we know that our students are having a shorter attention spans. If we give them something simple, students will be, engaged and then will be immersed in that. And of course, by having a micro learning, it can also help to boost knowledge retention. And then last but not least, micro learning can give learners more freedom. So having said all this, I might also add here that micro learning doesn't necessarily happen in a formal kind of teaching and learning. It can be, used in informal kind of learning. But of course, when we talk about teaching and learning in higher institution, we might then think about a formal teaching and learning, right? But for example, like the one that I mentioned earlier, if we have something or some problems that we need to, quickly solve, then we don't have anyone to turn to. We can always, look for the solution in Google or in YouTube. So that is kind of informal learning. Yeah. But for formal learning, for example, if we want to um, involve students in group discussion, for example. So we can use one or two micro learning content and then give it to our students. For example, in my classes, I have been using this approach quite some time. I love to use augmented reality with our students. So in one of the courses that I have, I teach in UKM is educational technology. So I asked my student to create augmented reality project. So in your augmented reality project itself, there are chunks of, or there are different kinds of parts. Yeah. So students have to, at the first place, they have to search for the content, the whole content. And after that, they have to arrange all the contents accordingly from the very simple to the more complex content. Then they have to separate the contents, and then after they have already they get all the arrangement, then they have to create a simple video to explain the content in each of the sub-contents that they have agreed among them. So that is also how we can involve students in the development of micro content itself. Because in of course in faculty of education we are training teachers, right? Teachers to be. So of course as a teacher they have to know, and then they have to have some skills on how to make use of micro content or micro learning, right? So okay, I think I'm coming towards the among the end of the slides. So what are the tools that we can use to create micro learning? Yeah. So if you can see here, these are just among few or some of the examples. Yeah. And as I said earlier, when we talk about micro learning, it doesn't necessarily have to be in a video form only. Yeah, we can use, for example, game ties to create a game or questions, just like we want to conduct a formative assessment with our students. Yeah. So and of course we have one specific objective that we want our students to achieve, right? So we can use game types, and then we can give them few questions that are related to the objectives that we want students to achieve. Then we can test it with our students. In game ties, it is beautiful because they have, a leaderboard. A leaderboard. That means students may know where they are in the dipanggil apa ya? In the competition, whether they are in the first place or second place, and maybe in the last place. Game prize. So another tool that we can use to create micro content is also screencast-o-matic. If you remember the video that I have shown earlier on how to convert PDF to Word, I use screencast-o-matic, and after that I do some editing by using Filmora. That means I wanted to add some text, so I use Filmora. Yeah. Another screencasting tools that we can use apart from screencast-o-matic is Camtasia. I'm not sure whether UUM bought this, but in UKM, all the lecturers can have the free license because UKM already purchased a bundle of Camtasia. We just have to request for the license and we can use it freely. And then when we talk about microlearning in terms of animation, there are lots and lots of tools that we can use, which is free. We have Movely, and we have Biteable. So this is the one that we are going to have a hands-on later today. Sorry? Tak ada, not a question. Okay. We can also have a Canva. So if you notice my presentation now, I am using Canva to present my presentation. Yeah. I think I have not used, or I have not created any PowerPoint for about 2 years already. Yeah, all my my slides are in Canva. Okay, we also have Animaker to create animation. We can also use Powtoon, where Powtoon and Animaker is a bit time consuming for those who are so busy, because in Animaker and Powtoon we have to deal with timelines, and so we have to arrange which element should come first, and then which element should go first or vanish first in our frame. And of course, we have also Pictochart. So Canva and Pictochart is actually an example of tools that we can use to create microlearning for graphic form. Screencast, Camtasia, and Filmora for video form. GameTiles for gamification or game-based. Movely, Biteable, Animaker, and Powtoon is for animation. So what is Biteable? So Biteable is achievable at this link. And of course, we can always use a free version of Biteable. And I will be showing you a free version as well. I have subscribed to Biteable for 2 years in a row, but it ended last year, so I haven't subscribed yet. So, but anyway, using a free version, you can also create as good as a free a subscribed one. But only the difference between a subscribed and a free one is actually the availability to get the MP4. I mean a raw video from Biteable. If you use a free version, we cannot download the file. Kita tak dapat file tu sedebuk macam we cannot download the MP4 from Biteable unless we converted or we subscribe Biteable. Sama ada kita nak gunakan yang personal or perhaps enterprise plan. It depends on your institution or perhaps on your own personal needs. Yeah. But there are ways to get the video. So this is what we are going to experience today. Yeah, and then they have lots and hundreds of templates that we can choose from, depending on the purpose of our micro content, or perhaps depending on who our audiences are. Yeah, because they have like animation, they have like cartoons, and they have more, footage videos and so on and so forth. Okay, and all right. So this is about Biteable. And of course, at the end of the session, I hope that everybody will achieve this objective. Only one objective yang saya tetapkan. That is, at the end of the workshop, all of you will be able to develop your own micro content using Biteable, and then all of you have to upload it to your YouTube channel. I'm not sure whether maybe all of you had already, enjoying your YouTube channel. Mungkin ada yang dah jadi selebriti kot dekat YouTube channel. But for those who haven't tried a YouTube channel, you should try it today. Alright? So one of another example, macam mana how we can use Biteable to create micro content is next. Yeah? This is created, I think, 2 or 3 years back when I subscribed to Biteable. So if you notice that the previous video was also created using Biteable, the one on the promotional video, for innovation and technology and innovation for teaching and learning. So this is also created using Biteable. And then using a subscribe one, you will see the difference, a vast difference, which is if you use a free one, there will be a ribbon here, somewhere here, that it is made using Biteable, something like that. Yeah, they have one here and one here, or perhaps one here or one here. Yeah, so but using a subscribe one, there is no ribbon. So that means your video will be much better in terms of the look. So let's look at what microlearning is all about. Just to wrap this introductory section, just have a look for. That's all about micro learning. So now let's get going. Maybe everybody can also follow along. Yeah. To start using Biteable, you have to create an account. Okay, so go to Google and type in Biteable.com. Yeah, Biteable.com. You can follow along. Okay, so enter. And you will see something like this. Yeah, this is a Biteable landing page. And then, of course, for first timer, you have to sign up. It is free, sign up. But since I have already signed up, now I just have to log in. All right. So if you can see here, this is my dashboard. This is what we call a dashboard. So in dashboard, if you are a first timer, of course you don't see anything here. You can just have a create new video. Am I right? But for those who had been using Biteable, you will see all of these projects, yeah, yang pernah saya gunakan. I use this to create some of my learning content. And if you notice here, they have 2 words or 2 buttons or 2 menus. The first one is light, and the other one is Pro. But for the purpose of this session, alamak, salah pula. For the purpose of this session, I'll just share the use of light version of Biteable. So harap semua boleh try. I hope that everybody can try and then subscribe or sign up. Okay, so this is the light one. So we want to use this one. Just click on light. I think by default, once you have signed up, you will transfer to a light version of Biteable. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, these are the projects developed in Biteable. So every project that you created earlier will be listed or will be archived here. So now we want to create a new video. We want to create a new video. But of course, before you create a videos, you have to something in your mind. For example, what is the objective that you want your students to achieve at the end of the when they use this micro content. For example, I have a very simple script here. So through this content that I'm going to develop, I want our students, or I want to explain what are the or how to create a good learning content. So this will be my title. Or indirectly, the objective behind this micro content is to actually explain what are the steps that you have to follow when you want to create a good learning content. So I have about 5 tips here. The first one, analyze learners' needs. And the second one, state learning objectives. The third one, arrange content from easy to more complex. Design the content to involve learners' engagement. And the fifth one is to evaluate the effectiveness of the content. That's it. So remember, micro content or micro learning is just about a very small chunks of information that students would digest in very short time or period of time. So there are only five points that will be put into my Biteable or my video content, and then I'm planning to put my name and UKM logo at the end of the video. So all of you, before you create your Biteable, you have to have something like this. That means you have to more or less plan what are the texts that you want to put into your Biteable frames. Okay, so now I'm ready to create my Biteable content since I've already planned my text and all that. So we just go back to Biteable and then we create a new video. So click on that one. So if you can see here, there are some templates you can choose from. You can also find templates according to your needs or the objectives of your video. But to me personally, I would choose start from scratch, because sometimes when you use templates, there are elements that do not suit your needs, so you have to delete it and you have to find other footage and all that. So might as well you start from scratch, because you have already have something in mind, right? So what you want to achieve, and then what kind of approach that you want to instill in your video. So let's say once I click on start from scratch, now Biteable will ask me to write down my title of video project. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this title into a video project. So it now becomes a video project. And then once you're happy with this title, and then you just click on get started. Okay, as I said earlier, Biteable is very generous to all of us. Even though we are using a free version, we can have an access to hundreds of templates here. So, and of course, there are categories or themes. For example, they have infographic. In infographic itself, they give us 138 options that we can choose from. They have clay. For example, if I click here, clay, then you will see all these 3D clays, which is very attractive and very fun to look at. It might be more suitable for students, like in schools. Yeah. So if you want to preview it, just hover your mouse and then and you will see how it looks like. Yeah? Whenever you choose it, then it is how it looks like in your frame. For example, for this one, you can see like that. Okay. So that is for clay, and of course you can play around when you have time. Maybe to jangan tidur malam ni. Go into your Biteable and go one by one and look at these things. For example, you have for infographic. It's quite simple because Biteable is actually a company that supports micro-learning. Yeah? And that's why if you look at all these elements, they are very simple and, it's not that crowded, you see? It's just one and then put your text here. And for your information, all of this footage or all of this frame, by default, it gives you 5 seconds. 5 seconds per frame. That means if you put 10 frames, the duration of your video will last for 10. Jadi berapa 5 saat jadi 50 saat lah, 50 seconds. Because one frame 5 seconds, 10 frames is 50 seconds. So you can actually estimate, the duration of your video by looking at the number of your frames that you want to put into Biteable. But you can always shorten the duration of the video in the setting. Maybe I can show you later. But to me, based on my own experience, 5 seconds is just nice because having that visual and the very simple text, 5 seconds is very much suitable for our eyes to digest going on in that frame. So okay, so it's frames that you can only put text. But if you plan to put some image, your own image, that means perhaps you have the prototype of something. You have your own photos, then you may want to use this one on image. And you can choose from this. Yeah. So that means if you choose this one, and then your image will be here, and then there will be a text space over here. So you can play around and then make a choice, make a wide choice, which is serve the purpose of your photo. Okay. And then there are also characters. Bare characters is actually among the earlier or the earliest characters Biteable introduced. Yeah, I use bears a lot when I started using Biteable. Yeah, it's quite cute and my students tend to like it. And then what else? Okay, you can use high-tech mockups if you want to, make some or content related to using mobiles or something. Yeah, you can use this one. Then of course you can play around and then make a choice yourself. Yeah. So but another option apart from animation, these are under animation. You can go here. You can look at footage. Click on footage, and of course, since we are using a free version, we only have an access to a basic category, not a premium. So if you go to premium, then you have to pay for it. So just look at for basic ones. And there are also hundreds of footage here. Footage, that means a real video. Yeah. For example, if you want to look at this, okay. Yeah, a very sad or sad face there. Any sedih kena buang kerja. So that means the scenario given in videos can be chosen based on your needs lah. Yeah. Okay, and if you look some more, you can see more options on more videos. Yeah. You can also have robots here. So it depends on your types of information that we want to convey and who will be your audience. Yeah. Now, okay. So look at this content. My audience might be my own students, or perhaps I also want to cover teachers in school, or maybe lecturers in universities. Those are the target audience that I think might benefit from this information, yeah? Because all of us are involved in creating learning objects, like, right? So we want to know what are the good steps to create a learning content. So since I know that my target audience would be teachers in schools, or perhaps professors and perhaps lecturers in other institutions, so therefore I might avoid cartoons ataupun macam yang bear tadi, so tak sesuai dengan kita punya audience. So I might go for something like footage. Yeah? Right. So for that purpose, I think I am using this one, just like what I have created earlier. Maybe I want to start with how to create a good learning content would be the first frame that I want to insert. Yeah? So I might go to it's very hard to make a selection, especially when we are women. We tend to spend more time selecting things, right? So, for example, okay, I just pick this one. So click on that once, and you will see that the frame that I have selected is already here. Yeah. So this will become my first frame. So what is the sentence that I want to put? This is the sentence. Just highlight and copy it and just paste it here. Okay. So if you're the first timer, you might want to save and preview it. Okay. But of course, you have to bear in mind that Biteable is a bit heavy. Yeah? So in order for you to just review one frame, it will take some time. Inilah, dia akan spinning, and then this is how it looks like. You can preview it if you are happy with it, and can just proceed with adding a new scene. Okay. And I think I'll be stay using this footage. I'm not going to switch to any more animation or infographic like previously, like the previous one. I'm just going to stick with this one, and then analyze learners' needs. So I need to maybe looking at or might be this one because learners' needs. Muka pelajar ramai kan? Okay. So go back to your script and then just copy it and then you paste it. And if you notice here, it is written 80, right? That means in Biteable, you are only allowed to put a sentence or not more than 80 characters. So make sure that your script is short enough and not to exceed 80 characters. If not, then your sentence will be hanging lah. And then it will what will appear in Biteable is just within 80 characters. Yeah? So this is what we call as micro learning. Yeah. Now analyze learners' need, and I add some more scene. And what is the next one is state learning object. So I might go for something which is suitable to explain about stating the objectives. So maybe more. Yeah, maybe this one. And just do the whole thing and bring it here and paste it. And then there you go. So you have to state learning objectives and add more scene content. Let's say this one. And it's very straightforward process. Then add scene some more. And go back to the fourth one. Design the content to improve learners' engagement. Perhaps something like this. I'm not just I'm not going to spend much time selecting. It might be boring waiting for me. So let's go very fast. And then the fifth one is value effectiveness of the content. Might be thing like okay lah, like evaluate tiga kan. Okay. And the last one, I'm planning to put my name and UTM logo. So for this purpose, I can't use this one anymore because there is no log to upload UTM logo here. So I go back to animation, and then I might go down a bit and maybe I'm just gonna use this one, animation, and select to make or put my logo. Here like this. Okay, kelihatan macam ni, so I'll just pick this one. Okay. Okay, and then enter your scene. I want to put my name, and then for the logo, I want to put UKM logo. Then you have to have your logo prior to uploading it to Biteable. So and you can select file. So just locate the logo whenever you save it. So in this case, I have it here. Then you just click on upload if you want to crop. Okay, and save it and upload it. Okay, okay, now I'm done. That's it. Only 7 frames. Now we have to the button here. Just now we are in timeline where we put our frames here. Okay, just another note. For example, if you accidentally or you have selected one frame, but later on you think that I'm not going to use this one. This is not suitable. I have found a better one. So if you want to delete it, for example, so if you hover your mouse here, and then you will see there is an arrow pointing to pointing up, and then you can delete it. If you want to delete it, you may want to duplicate. That means you will have a similar frame side by side, and you can also use this to switch scenes. For example, if you switch this one, number 6. Switch, yeah. So that means the one that I have chosen, I want to choose, or I want to change it to another frame. So you can use that. Okay. but I'm not going to change it because I'm quite happy with that. For example, if you want to rearrange, for example, number 5, you want to put it to number 4, you can always drag and drop it. Okay? But in my case, I want to change it back because I already have this sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7. Now, after we finish in timeline, we proceed to color. But this is optional. By default, you'll be given this color. If you're not a fan of this kind of purple and red color, you may want to choose one of these options. But I think this one maybe okay. I might use this one. Okay. And then after you're happy with the selection of color, click on audio. So in Biteable, there are numbers of background music. Some of them are quite cheeky and quite catchy. You may want to, if you want to listen to it, like that. This might not be suitable. Okay. So once you have chosen one of these music, to select that, you just have to click on this radio button. So one is once it is selected, and then the radio button will be activated. And the next one you go to review. If you're happy with that, you can click on build my review. So this will take some time. Some time. Some time means not only 50 seconds, but more than that. It depends on how many frames that you have put in your Biteable video and the internet connection that you have. So mungkin boleh pergi masak dulu ke, jemur kain dulu ke, kan? Buat air dulu, buat minum dan sebagainya. And then you have to wait until everything is being rendered. Right? So maybe sementara, in the meanwhile, while waiting for my video to be built, you, in using your own machine, you can try this out. If you have any questions, you can just ask me, then we can have a question and answer.
So, Doctor, there are one question in the QA. Can you read it? There is one question in QA.
Tak nampak sebab saya sedang...
Okay. I read it. Okay, Dr. Fariza, if we use a free version, how much time is allowed?
Saya pernah cuba, I have tried putting as many as 20 slides or 20 frames, and it goes well. Yeah, and after all, you have to remember that if we are creating a micro content, make sure that the content is not that too long. Yeah, I think 20 slides is just nice, but it still goes through, even though you are using a free one. Or maybe you want to give it a try yourself. Yeah. I hope I answered that question.
Okay, yeah. Next question is one slide. How long?
Next slide.
One slide. How long? How many seconds maybe? For one slide?
As I said earlier, in Biteable by default, one frame is 5 seconds. That means if you put 20 slides, it will last about 100 seconds, which is 1 minit 40 saat kan? Okay, ada question. Okay, saya nampak kat sini. Can we record ke reward? Okay, can we record our voice for the slides? So far dia tak ada. But I think if you upgrade to Biteable yang subscribe here, there are more options where you can actually upload your own videos. You can actually, perhaps you may want to your voices. But in terms of recording our own voices, I'm not that sure. It is unlike in Powtoon kan. Powtoon, we can always record our voice as the narrator for our animation. But in Biteable, I don't think so. But for a subscribed one, you can upload your own video. Let's say you have a footage, like 5 seconds of footage, right? Of your students' discussion, for example, or maybe you want to show your own presentation, your action in front of the audience for about 5 seconds, you can upload the videos in Biteable. But since we are using a free one, there's a limitation. But in a free one, we can always upload any photos. But in my example, I just uploaded a UKM logo kan. But you can always upload your own photos. You can give it a try, right? Any more questions so far? Is everybody trying on your own now?
There are another 2 questions over there in the chat,
Okay.
in the chat box.
Okay, read. So can you expand the duration for each frame that I would like to? As far as I'm concerned, we cannot expand the duration because it is given 5 seconds. We cannot expand it, but we can shorten it into 3 seconds. But we cannot expand. If you want to expand it, another creative ways lah kan. You can apa nama ni duplicate the same frame side by side, and then it will last about 10 seconds.
So another one, Doctor. Are all the resources in the basic plan of Biteable copyright free?
Sekejap. Mana? Kat mana?
So I copy that question from the QA. So, are all the resources in the basic plan copyright free?
Copyright free?
Yeah. Are all the resources in the basic plan of Biteable copyright free?
I think so, because there's no disclaimer saying that any content that you created in Biteable belongs to Biteable. Yeah, because sama juga macam kalau kita gunakan Canva or Pictochart. Yeah, they have given you options and then choices to us to choose from. But once we have curated or we arrange it into our own presentation, in our own interpretation, then that content will belong to us. As far as I'm concerned, it's like that. Because Biteable will not disclaim that everything that you made using our tool, then it belongs to us. So that means yeah.
So another one. How to remove the watermark?
Okay. The only way for you to remove the watermark is to pay. The subscribe one will not have any watermark on the video. So you have to pay. You have to pay for it. Okay, mungkin kita boleh tengok berapa harga. I was once invited to UiTM Tapa when I teach them how to use Biteable. Then the pengajaran and teaching center in UiTM Tapa decided to buy one license and then they use it, collaboratively. One of the ways is that mungkin UTLC boleh beli lah. You can buy it and then you can use it. But of course, the usage is you have to share the usage of this license. Just like in Faculty of Education, in my faculty, when we started using MOOC in I think 2 or 3 years back, everybody was eager to use Powtoon to create a learning content. So what we did was we asked our dean, to just let us buy satu license and then everybody can use it. But we have to have two understandings. That means other users cannot ever exploit others punya content, and they cannot delete and they cannot edit. Just make sure you are using your very own content, or you just edit your very own. So okay, yeah, ini dia punya plan. If you can see here, starter plan $15 per month. Okay, apa yang diberilah one video per month. So this is quite different as compared to what I subscribed to earlier. Yeah. Actually, prior to this bengkel, I was planning to subscribe juga lah. But when I read through the the specs of the plan, walaupun dia tak mahal, it's about $15 per month. It's just about 60 ringgit macam tu lah kan. But we are only allowed to download one video per month. So I have spoken to their staff asking a clarification about this claim. So, and then they confirm that if you subscribe to this plan, which is $15 per month, you can only download one video per month. That means if you created 10 videos, but you can only download one video per month, which is doesn't work lah kan. So that's why I cancel my plan to subscribe. But I think last time when I subscribed to Biteable, the plan was different. Yeah, I can download as many videos as I can. Okay.
They asking how to upload the link video into YouTube.
Okay. Tunggulah sekejap. Jangan tunggu dulu. So sekarang ni semua dah buat kan? I'm just wondering how is everybody doing? Are you trying it on your own, or are you just listening and waiting for the next step from me? Orang lain buat tak ni, Tuan?
I'm not sure. Okay, so they are finalizing the preview.
Okay, good. Okay. And others?
I complete mine already.
Okay, good, very good. Okay. Mungkin kita bagi sikit lagi masa ya. Sebab mungkin ada tinggal.
Actually, they are waiting for your example.
Oh ya ke? Okay. So that means I can proceed lah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, sekarang ni kita dah pun sampai ke build video tadi kan? So sebenarnya dia akan hantar sebenarnya pada kita nampak kat sini. No reply, biteable video how to ni sudah pun ada render. Let's say lah kata macam tadi kita menunggu lama kan. So kita pergi buat benda lain dan sebagainya, sudah akan hantar notification kat sini. But if you are still on Biteable, you can always look at this page, and then kalau kita playkan dia. Again, going back to the concept of microlearning, the content doesn't have to be too long, doesn't have to be too elaborated. Just straight to the point. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just like that. Okay, so the question is, I know that everybody is very eager to upload the video to your YouTube, right? So if you scroll down a bit, you go down, you see download your video, but see, they prompt you to subscribe. So we don't want to do this one. So what you can do is then scroll down a bit and then a bit more, and then you'll see publish on Biteable. So you might not want to publish it on Biteable, but our choice is to publish it to our YouTube video, right? So whatever it is, we still have to click on this one, publish and share. Okay. So once you click on publish and share, you will see your video is still here. But if you notice on your right side, you will see all these options, right? And I said earlier, of course, you cannot download the video MP4 video right away since we are using a free one. You have to subscribe to it. You can edit video if you can. You can, but in using a free, I think all of our content are public. But I don't mind that. If you think that private. So, right. What we are going to do today is to upload it to YouTube. I'll just explain a bit. Okay, if you want, you don't want to upload to YouTube, you can still share your video by clicking on this one. You can have the video and then you might want to share some other video dekat apa nama ni, WhatsApp with the students, or maybe Telegram, or maybe in your LMS or whatever platform that you want to share. But it is video is not embedded. Embedded means it is ketul macam ni lah. It is already on the page. Yeah? But of course you can click on this one. You can copy all this HTML, then copy it and then go. For example, if you have website, contohnya dalam website, you can embed it. For example, if I go to my just nak tunjuk lah ya, alang-alang kita dah mention tentang perkara ni. So I'm using Weebly so saya punya. So let's say if I want to put it into e-learning support, this one. Of course I want to create new file just to show how we can embed this file lah without having to post to YouTube. This is like learning content. Just embed sini, just drop. Dan tadi saya dah so you see the video is already embedded here. This is what we mean as means we just letakkan seketul video dekat situ without anything. That means our website reviewer we will able to watch the video which is already embedded into my but of course Biteable iklan dia mesti ada lah kan. Okay, sebab kita guna free tu Biteable tu dan dekat sini kan. Cuma ya cantiknya dia embedded lah kat sini. Alright. Okay, now atau alternatively kita boleh letak dekat Facebook ataupun Twitter. Ya. Tapi dalam Twitter dan Facebook ni kita hanyalah link lah. Check out my Biteable, you can tweet it if you want it. But yang penting kita nak tunjuk pada YouTube lah. Semua orang dah ada apa nama ni account YouTube ke? May I know, ada tak yang belum ada account YouTube? So
Ada.
okay, so if let's say any of you have not any YouTube or you haven't created any YouTube account, if you are a Gmail user, once you go to YouTube and let's say you have already signed to your Gmail, by default you will see your apa nama ni, your channel is there. So macam mana nak check dia? Bagi yang dah ada YouTube, tak ada masalah Okay, for example, if you go to YouTube, sorry lah ya, apa-apa yang dah dilihat ni buat tak nampak je lah. Okay, on your right hand side kat atas ni, you can see your own photo ataupun kalau you tak ada foto might be your initials lah. So, click on that one. And then click on your channel. Ulang Bagi mereka yang belum ada YouTube ni nak tengok sama ada are you already signed in YouTube? Pergi ke YouTube and then on your right hand side kat atas you will see macam ada satu bulat kat situ, might be your own picture as you upload profile, and then click your channel. So kalau you click your channel and then ada nama you kat sini, that means you are already logged into your YouTube channel. Okay? Kalau yang dah ada video kan, kalau tak ada video tak ada sebelum ada video kat sini lah. Okay, so just to make sure that before you upload to your YouTube channel, you have to sign in to your YouTube first. Then only Biteable be able to send it to your YouTube. Maknanya baru boleh send. So sekarang ni kat mana kita dah render, kita dah build video sekarang ni. Mission kita adalah, our mission is to send or upload this recently developed video to our YouTube channel. So you just click on this button and then just click mana-mana email yang that you use to log in ataupun sign into your YouTube. In my case, I'm using a UM. So just click on that one, and then if you have these two options, just click on the YouTube. Okay, and you will see, woohoo, your video is being submitted to YouTube. So maknanya video tu telah dihantar ke YouTube, but of course it will not appear instantly. So you have to wait until, for example, like myself, the latest one is track changes in Google Docs, then the previous ataupun the recent video will be uploaded sebelum ataupun bersebelahan dengan track changes. So you have to wait a bit lah. So while waiting for the video to be uploaded to YouTube, any more questions, Dr. Iswan?
Yes, they are. Okay, Doctor, I think I will unmute everyone.
Okay.
Is it okay to unmute everyone? If you're not want to talk, you can mute back yourself.
Tak ada masalah. I am more than happy to listen to other voices rather than my own from the dah dengar suara sendiri dah. Okay, silakan.
Okay, I unmute everyone, and then if you don't want to talk, you just mute back yourself, right? Okay.
Ya.
Tapi hari tu memang aku nak kepada semua
Saya tak dapat dengar lah.
tidak memang tak buka gantian. Cepat.
Sorry, I can't hear anything. Maybe you can just post questions to the chatting room, so it might be more, readable.
I already mute back everyone.
Okay. So mungkin kalau ada soalan letak dekat chat lah kot, sebab tadi saya dengar macam few voices kan, tapi I can't listen clearly. So maybe if you have any question, you can just
One question over there, Doctor. Can we put the link in WhatsApp or Telegram?
Yes, of course. Why not? As I said earlier, kat sini kan. Kat sini. Ini ambil yang ni. Nampak tak ni? This one. So ambil this one. kita boleh paste lah. Kita masuk dekat WhatsApp ataupun Telegram. Nak tunjuk pun nanti kan macam-macam dalam WhatsApp saya tu kan. Okay.
Assalamualaikum Dr. Fariza.
Ya, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Okay. Saya tanya
Aha.
the duration of our video ni how long if we use free license. Tapi tadi while asking your question, the same question I just chat with the agent in Biteable punya window. So they answered my question. Dia kata a video can have the maximum of 100 scenes in it, with each scene averaging at 5 seconds. So this would make your video 9 minutes long. Maknanya maximum mungkin 9 minutes lah kan?
Yes.
100 scenes.
100. So thank you for that. Noliza ke?
Ya, saya.
Thank you, Dr. Noliza. So maybe for everyone's information, right? And thanks to Dr. Noliza. So the maximum numbers of frames that we can put in one project is 100 up to 100 frames.
100 scenes.
100 scenes, yeah. So,
100 scenes.
sorry?
Each scene tu dia kata 5 second average.
Betul lah. So kalau kita, let's say we have 100 scenes or 100 frames, that means 100 per times by 5 seconds. So that means 500 seconds lah kan? 500 seconds that means.
Tapi maknanya dia kata video tu boleh 9 minit je lah panjang pun. Sebab 100 scenes lah maximum.
But I think kalau katalah if you in your students' shoes kan, kalau 6 minit kita nak menghadap satu frame nak tunggu 6 minit tu jelas. So make it short. But more importantly is how you arrange the content into a small chunk. You not put everything in one video. Kan? So because we are talking about micro
Kalau dapat 3 minit pun okey dah. Budak boring lama-lama sangat.
Betul. And sometimes you may want to mix between Biteable and then you have your own recording, you have other videos kan. So, sekejap lagi saya tunjukkan contoh lah cara macam mana kita mix.
Thanks Doktor.
Okay. Sometimes nak tunggu 100 frame tu, imagine our students kan. Kalau kita pun I think, lama nak tunggu 100 kan.
Tak praktikal lah.
Yes. So as I said earlier, macam micro content ni might be used for to
3 to 5 minutes pun dah okey kan. Tu pun jenuh nak tunggu, nak tengok.
Yes. So let's see. Yes, no problem. Thank you so much. Thank you juga Noliza, tolong tanyakan dengan okay.
Sama-sama.
Okay, rakan-rakan nampak tak kat sini? So now the video is already uploaded here. Dekat my YouTube channel ni. So kalau you klik kat sini, then you will have the video. Okay. So itu adalah is one of the ways on how to share your videos created using a free version of Weebly. Weebly pula, version of Biteable. Okay, but let's say if you want this video dalam bentuk MP4, what can you do? How are you going to get the MP4 from this YouTube video? Anyone? Any idea? Type dekat chat ataupun siapa nak bercakap bolehlah juga. Kita dah unmute dah semua.
Boleh request minta unmute. Can request for me to me directly.
Ada yang request ke? Tak ada. Okay, ada satu question daripada Dr. Chan salam Dr. Fariza, after publishing the video, can we edit or delete the video? Okay, once you have published it, that's it. That means the published one is not editable. But you can always edit your video by going back to your Biteable here. Ni adalah dipanggil sebagai home button. You click on home button and you go back to your project. So here, if you go back here, then you can click on edit button here. So go back and then you can edit anything in your editor. Once you have published it, That's it. You cannot do anything. Just like when we publish our video kan. So kita tak boleh nak tukar kepada video that has been already published. But you can go back to the video file ataupun video, you can do amendments or do some editings there. So same goes to Biteable. Every time you want to change or delete or put other elements from time to time, just go back to the your Biteable. But after you have done with the editing, you have to repeat the same procedure, just like previously shown. You have to go to build your video and then you have to share it to your YouTube. Okay, but the video will be updated using the same link. I am not sure. You may want to try. I'm not sure. Sebab kalau nak cuba ni pun takut nanti lama kan, because you have to wait until the video is built. Maybe Dr. Chang, you may want to try it. Then look at the link. Okay. Okay, so berbalik kepada YouTube tadi kan. Sekarang ni we already have the video and sometimes you think, oh, I need this MP4 video. So I always use this simple trick. Once, let's say you want to upload this YouTube video, you just go to the URL. Nampak tak YouTube kat situ? Kan? YouTube. So you just put your cursor kat belakang I and then you delete UBE. Jadi UOYOUT and then enter. So kita boleh download MP4, just click on MP4 video and just record MP4. So in that way, secara lanunnya, secara pirate-nya, kita boleh download lah video tersebut dalam bentuk MP4. Why we want to have MP4 video? It is actually optional. If you're happy that your video is landed in your YouTube without having to, let's say you want to edit, then just let it there. But let's say if you want to do some editing in video editor that you may then download your YouTube lah. Okay, dia kata your recording is about to start. Tell your friends about you. I am telling my friends. So you see here how to create MP4 and nampak. So now I have my own copy of my Biteable just now. Tapi since we are using a free version, then of course the liku-liku kehidupan tu banyak sikit lah kan. You have to upload it to YouTube and then you just need to download it again to your machine or your computer. Okay, but of course using a free version of YouTube ni, dia punya pixelation tu agak jatuh lah. Gambar tu mungkin agak tak berapa cantik sangat. So contohnya mungkin kalau saya boleh tunjukkan cara macam mana kita boleh, we can mix between Biteable and other videos. I have
Doktor punya sound speaker makin perlahan lah.
Oh ya ke? Mungkin saya semakin jauh daripada komputer. Sekarang boleh dengar tak? Can you hear me?
Okay, dia sangkut-sangkut.
Oh ya ke? Might be due to the internet connection. What about now?
Okay.
Okay, right. So going back to my channel. So okay, good. Siapa-siapa yang nak subscribe boleh subscribe dengan Fariza Khalid saja. Fariza Khalid. Sebab musim-musim PKP ni saya giat jugalah buat video ya. Starting from Zoom hari tu, sampai sekarang dah ada 5.5 thousand viewers lah. Jadi semangat pula buat video kan. Okay. So where is it? Okay. So ini adalah this is the video that I created using the mixture of tools. For example, the intro is created using Biteable, and afterwards I have other kinds of videos as you can see. Boleh kalau izinkan saya untuk saya paparkan sekejap lah. So this is Biteable yang bare tu tadi. Saya ini guna Biteable juga, tapi saya upload gambar saya sendiri, gambar saya dengan students. Mungkin saya skip sedikit sebab ni banyak tentang penerangan. Ini adalah
saya rasa banyak saya yang boleh, tapi dia dah guna Trello ni saya rasa banyak kelebihan kat tulisan ni kita boleh buat secara masa dan tidak terikat pada masa yang sebab dia berlaku secara online. Kita akan dapat juga dengan cara cepat sebab jadi penggunaannya adalah mudah, ringkas dan lebih efektif. Maklum balas yang terima juga cepat. Kita dapat terima penerimaan maklum balas melalui notifikasi dengan mudah. Pada saya, this is the best time to make it personal task management. Ini yang saya cari, mana pengurusan setiap projek penyediaan dilakukan dengan teratur dengan berserta dengan pengetahuan daripada supervisor.
Kalau secara hard copy, faktor penulisan oleh diri kita sendiri ada kemungkinan kita tak dapat membacanya dengan jelas. Tapi kalau melalui komputer,
okey. So cukuplah tu kot. So ini contohnya macam mana saya combinekan antara Trello, antara Biteable dengan video yang saya record dekat bilik saya sendiri. So saya menggunakan Filmora lah untuk kita ni kan, dan menggunakan Filmora ni sebenarnya kita pun boleh letakkan dia punya teks kat situ kan, seiring dengan apa yang dikatakan untuk kita nak highlight. And of course this is not based on the concept of micro-learning, sebab video ni saya sediakan untuk pertandingan ikuasi sebenarnya, macam mana saya gunakan hybrid cognitive practice for effective supervision. Just to give an idea on how we can actually use Biteable. Apart from for micro-learning concept, we can also use Biteable as a part of our entire videos lah, for intro, or maybe to introduce the objectives or something like that. Okay. Okay. So yang lain-lain macam mana? Okay. Sekejap.
Betul. Another question. Biteable ambil space besar tak untuk upload dalam WhatsApp or Telegram?
Biteable sebab dia adalah web based kan. Kalau kita share dekat WhatsApp pun, dia akan transfer kita ke sama ada ke YouTube ke ataupun ke website ke. So saya rasa dia bukan bila kita bercakap tentang space tu bila kita download kan. Tapi of course bila kita buka video tu mungkin makan data lah. Mungkin bagi our students yang pakai prepaid ke apa ke, dia orang tak ada Unify, dia orang tak ada wifi kat rumah ke, mungkin kita fikirkan jugalah dari sudut whether our students have that kind of capacity to use their internet mobile data in order to view the videos. But I think in terms of the space, it doesn't use any space in our handphone, because when we share the link, the link will not use any space in smartphone. Okay, Liza tanya tadi, if you buy the license ada desktop version, what do you mean by desktop version? What we are using now is a web-based desktop version.
Ya, saya baru perasan memang dia tak ada, kalau kita ambil license pun dia memang tak nak download. Macam
dia tak ada mobile app kan?
Yes, dia tak ada mobile dan dia tak ada pula desktop version. Kalau kita bayar pun, dia memang totally
web-based.
macam Powtoon juga.
Betul.
Dia memang kena guna kat situ je.
Yes, betul.
Kena ada internet connection yang sangat tinggi lah masa buat.
Kan? Of course. Memang perlukan internet sebab saya cakap tadi nak menunggu dia macam render just only about 7 slide macam saya buat tadi pun it takes some time juga kan. So that means if you talk about the limitation in terms of kita punya internet connection, we might then choose other alternatives lah, because it might doesn't necessarily have to be in a video form, but you can also use that tengok contoh.
Macam Powtoon, kita boleh upload to YouTube and juga kita boleh juga simpan dalam kita punya desktop. Tapi yang ni tak perasan tadi. YouTube tu
betul.
Tak tahu.
Yang ni all the files ataupun all the projects will be archived in web-based and dalam Biteable. So there is no desktop version of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe alternatively we may want to pergi ke Canva. I am using Canva a lot sebab Canva ni bagi saya sangat easy to use lah, and then they have lots of templates katalah macam contoh macam ni. This can also be considered as one of the examples of micro learning content jugalah. Just use one piece of poster or paper or perhaps JPEG. Saya download. It. But the main important is that in microlearning, what we are trying to achieve is kita nak convey small or certain ideas kan. So in this case, katalah kita nak bagi campaign stop spread. So there are 4 things here. The first one, wash your hands frequently. And you see, in my previous slides, it was mentioned that among the design principles for microlearning is the selection of the suitable media. So in this case, or in this example, yang ni you nampak, there are text as well as visual. So which one is more powerful? Visual might be more powerful because our eyes will be, orang kata eye-catching lah. We will see visual more than text kan? Or even if our audience just look at the visual alone, they can get the message. But of course, to cater other kinds of students learning, because we have work, we have visual students, we have audio students. I mean, those who love to read text, then we can also put some text here as the extension of the visual. So the second one is maintain physical distance without having to read this. Just by looking at this visual alone, we can get the message, isn't it? Okay, and then avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth. And the fourth one, if you have fever, cough and sebagainya, always wear your. So these are 4 messages, 4 small messages that cater to the ways on how we can stop the spread of coronavirus. Right? So do we have to use videos? No. Sometimes you don't have to use the video. So as the alternative, if you think that your students in their kampung kan, they cannot get an access to good bandwidth or internet
Fariza,
connection.
Dr. Fariza punya audio makin lagging. dia delay.
Oh ya ke? So
Ah.
boleh tak saya dengar
Ini baru dengar balik.
Mungkin sebab saya jauh sikit daripada
Dia lagging voice tu, dia macam lambat sikit.
Okay. So that means, kalau saya boleh ulang lah, that means if you think that our student have problem with internet connection, then we might want to decrease the use of video. Instead, we can use something like this. Kita boleh guna poster, we can use graphics, we can use visuals like this, so as for us to convey any messages that we want to convey to our students. Right? Boleh dengar kan? Sekarang dah better ataupun masih sama lagi?
Better a little bit. Sebab dia
ya.
macam tenggelam timbul.
Oh, okay. Sebab suara Dr. Izwan pun saya kedengaran macam tenggelam timbul tadi. Okay, maybe anyone who wants to share their YouTube link pada video, you may want to copy and paste your URL YouTube in the chat room, then we can sama-sama preview your Biteable content. Hello?
Yeah, clear. They can hear you.
Okay. So I'm just asking whether any one of the participants want to share the Biteable video by sharing your, okay, we have one from Dr. Saudah here. Okay. Mari kita tengok apa yang ada di sini. Wow, very nice color combination ya.
Picture video tak keluar pun.
Tak nampak kan?
No.
Tak nampak kan?
No.
Okay, tak apa. Saya rasa sebab saya terus buka pada chat, nanti I need to copy this dan nampak ke sekarang ni?
Okay, good.
Okay. Sebab tadi saya buka terus daripada chat. Okay, now. Yeah. Oh yay! Mari kita bagi tepukan secara berjemaah walaupun tak dengar. Okay, thank you so much. So that's how very simple. And so okay, we have another one. Okay, from the section. So let me copy it and then paste it here. Okay, ready? Wow, okay, bravo Dr. Chan, thank you. Lagi? Ada tak? Maybe one or two more? Okay, so memang boleh edit using the same link. That means Dr. Chan, when you edit in Biteable, then you will have a same link, isn't it? Is that what you mean? Okay, yes. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Any more? Whoever wants to share the project that has been created using Biteable, persilakan. Last one. From Dr. Ratnaria, ya. Okay. Okey, baik. Macam tak habis cerita lagi tu Dr. Ratna. Okey, tak apa. Anyway, cantik kan pemilihan tu macam contohnya tadi. Ni kan, business tu ada gambar duit and then the selection of the visual itself is quite suitable dengan apa yang nak diperkatakan. So that's how we plan our bahan lah. If we know that what are the things or content that we want to convey, then please by all means try to locate the best or the most suitable visual to support the content that we want to. Alright, so ada saya rasa itu saja yang boleh saya kongsikan.